It's because I had that tab open and put my computer to sleep and woke up again. I did really bad levels. I'm basically gonna have to devote a whole day to fucking Eggman. That fucking one stage with the low gravity. Very cool stage, but shit. There's 3 score-based ones. Hugo doesn't want to overcommit with the clapping. But every successful clap is meter, and they've got basically no recovery. So they're harder to whiff punish than they look. You're a lot more likely to get the startup of one than the recovery, because they're pretty slow. But it's basically a giant hitbox, and then he's recovered. So like trying to dash punch the recovery, you're either going to run into the clap, or he's going to be able to block you, and then he has a 2-frame SPD. Counter hit. That's a counter hit combo. Balog's normals in Street Fighter 4 are literally better than 5. They're good at different things. In this game, they're very long range and very safe. So he can kind of play a purely normal game and just beat you. Balog has some of the best footsies in this game. Balog's Crouch Fierce in this game is pretty nice. Imagine Guile Crouch Fierce in Street Fighter 5. And now imagine it's more vertical, but literally like, imagine it's like active longer. And it never ever ever trades. And it's much harder to hit in its startup. I think it's slower than Guile's Crouch Fierce. It's probably about the same speed. But his Crouch Fierce is one of the best anti-air normals in the game. He has another anti-air normal that stands strong. It's basically the same as Street Fighter 5. But it's, people use it less because Crouch Fierce is way better. You got the link. That's easier on Balog than most characters. Big dick damage? Big dick damage! I think he got it. Yum. Alright, hold on. This is Hugo's dumbest combo. We have to, like, look at that whole thing. Alright, hold on. If only I actually used the keys to do the things. This is like the meme combo. I'd observe. Running bear. Where is it? Alright. Health starts here. Where's he get the running bear? I'm back too far, damn it. Did I go back a whole round? Alright, hold on. So, there was white health here. But, like, here's his real health, okay? Give or take. Like there. Meat Squasher is 200. The stand jab is, what, 40 or something? 50. That OTG's from the Meat Squasher. It normally knocks down, but the jab hits before he can knock down and restands. And then he cancels the super. The motion is down towards jab, down towards punch. And then from this, you can juggle shoot down backbreaker as a cancel, which does 100 damage. A shoot down backbreaker as a juggle, which does, I think, 160 damage. And they do stun too. Or I think the juggle one does stun and the normal, the cancel one doesn't. Or you can juggle an Ultra 2, but the Ultra 2 is very precise. But the scaling on this is actually very low because there's very few actions in this combo. So you can see it did about 70% of Balog's health, and Balog has above average health. That is like, that's a very good combo. Jab doesn't work after running bear on most characters. Balog is very wide. The thing is, your super combo there is like only at 80% scaling, and your ultra combo is only at like 60% scaling. So the scaling is just very low on that combo. I've actually landed that combo myself in a real match, not too long after Hugo was released. I think the Hugo guide I made is probably the best Hugo guide that anyone made. It's got a lot of tech that still isn't exploited, but that's in it. Holy shit, he's got the meter again. Mm. That Stam Pierce is like 120 damage, and it's an overhead. And it's got a hit of armor. And it's safe. This is not a counter pick per se, but it's not good. Blanca can be real annoying. Blanca's like pretty good against characters with shitty reach. This is the character they sought to destroy with the way that Street Fighter V is balanced. They did not want another Blanca. Blanca is like the picture of everything that Capcom has tried to balance to prevent. Ironically, they did it all on purpose when they designed Blanca back in 2007 or whatever. They purposely gave him a bunch of tricks and memes. Like they knew that you'd be able to cancel normals into hop and then hop through the opponent and shit like that. Like Ibuki nowadays with fucking medium teleport. They knew that Blanca Ball would be really hard for some characters to punish and really easy for other characters to punish. They probably knew about Cross Up Ultra. They knew about 4-frame Ultra. He's got lots of tricks. Hugo, unlike T-Hawk, his Ultra 2 will actually snipe a Blanca Ball. So once Hugo gets a Ultra 2, he can give Blanca hell. He can't actually give Blanca hell because the Blanca will just not do Blanca Balls. More accurately, he will stop Blanca from doing Blanca Balls. Because up ball on hit, and also any Blanca Ball but hard on hit, will get punished by by Hugo's Ultra 2. So basically Blanca can't do anything. That's the problem with Blanca, is that like if you're Blanca, you fight matchups like Cammy, who can just spiral or any Blanca Ball even if they work, or any up ball even if they work, and it's just like wow, I can't even use my fucking basic tools. And then you have matchups like T-Hawk where like T-Hawk can't do anything to a Blanca Ball ever, even on block, and Blanca can just do Blanca Balls forever. They fixed that a bit in Ultra because now only his low version Blanca Balls bounce back a lot. So you can only do the Blanca Balls when close. So it's like T-Hawk actually gets in and gets a little chance to do something. And hard Blanca Ball now knocks down, so you can confirm combos into Blanca Ball and actually complete combos and not like get punished on hit because of the knockdown. But the disparity between ability to punish made almost all of Blanca's matchups either really good or really awful. And that created like a bunch of really poor balance. Blanca is a very, very poorly balanced character. That's safe. Safe until Abel has Ultra anyway. The chip isn't too bad, but it's bad enough that, you know. Oh, one of the little problems with Blanca is he has very limited ability to play at a high level. Sadly. Oh, that slide is really good against fireballs too, so if you're a character who relies on fireballs, enjoy that. Rainbow Roll can be steered to hit on the front or the back. It's always punishable. This Abel is a little bitch. Did he get it? That's one frame. Nope. This should be just like, yeah. Oh, he hit too early. That's actually really annoying to punish. Blanca only has like 2 landing frames, and then he recovers. So either you can hit him midair, or ooh. You can either hit him midair, or you can go for those 2 frames of landing recovery. But your punish, of course, if he's grounded, is much stronger for most characters. Emphasis on most. Elena actually had a stronger punish as an anti-air. The thing about Rainbow Roll is that you can always focus it, but if Blanca doesn't quite hit you, if he lands right in front of you, he can grab you if you're focusing. And what's worse, if he does the Rainbow Roll as a reversal, it's armor breaking. So you have to react to whether the Rainbow Roll was a reversal or not. It's also got a little bit of invincibility, so we can do it on Wake Up. His only other invincibility is on EX Up Ball, which doesn't knock down, so like, if he does reversal EX Up Ball, I think it didn't knock down, it might as of Ultra. No, I think it still doesn't. Yeah, it still doesn't, I think. I don't remember. I don't remember VX up on knocks down. But like Kemi, if Kemi gets hit by it, she can still spiral arrow your ass. It's like, wow, enjoy that. It's kind of important that it doesn't knock down though, because he can red focus cancel it, so he can do like EXDP, red focus cancel, burn 4 bars, and then land an ultra. Blanca's ultra 1, he has no like way of landing. Blanca doesn't have like a launch or anything, or at least not that I can think of. I'm doing alright. Blanca doesn't have a launch, so he doesn't really have a thing to do to land ultra. He's like a charge character, but like if he gets like a focus attack, you can't charge fast enough to get ultra 1. Like maybe with perfect charging, like task charging, or like a task like focus dash. Like do the focus and then do a dash ultra. That's normally not possible after a focus attack because you have to do the dash much earlier than the dash actually comes out. Anyway, ultra 1 is basically impossible to land after a focus attack, which is frustrating for Blanca. Some universal fucking confirm. That was the X up all FADC for safety. That's Blanca's only reverse and it's 3 bars. Safe reverse. A lot of Blancas run Ultra 2. In fact, I think you basically have to run Ultra 2 if you want to be a good Blanca player. Ultra 2 actually does a shit ton of damage after a focus attack. If you're consistent with your low forward Ultra 1s, you can run Ultra 1. Ultra 2 punishes fireballs well. It anti-airs a little bit, not that well. Oh, look at this third strike ass matchup. That Makoto color is kind of fire. Fucking Ryu. Makoto's like plus after level 1 focus. That Yun should not have been hitting buttons. What a bad punish. Blanca's stun is good-ish. It's not like great, but he can dizzy you. His momentum is okay, unless you're certain characters, in which case it's horrible. And he can kind of force you to keep blocking for a while. That's good. I was gonna almost kill. They tried to remove shit like that as well in Street Fighter V. Like, Yum was doing really well, you know what I mean? Yum was doing really well. And then all of a sudden, like, Makoto just did like a fucking axe kick that was safe and also a coin flip with like a fucking throw. Like her command grab, to be honest. And then just landed an ultra. And then all of a sudden Yun had like a spec. And he had to bet it all on an EXDP and pray. Ultras are like people bitch about V-Trigger and like having to respect V-Trigger too much. But let's be real here, Ultras were a lot worse offenders in that regard. V-Triggers just improve your footsies and they give you like a single Roman cancel. But like Ultras, dude, Ultras, there's no like, the only talent is recognizing that you got an Ultra setup. And you don't even need a setup because they've got good invincibility. That might have chipped. Or on block, that is. It was a counter hit, so it didn't chip there. But it might have chipped if she didn't eat it. So this is a horrible matchup for Blanca. This is like a good example of Blanca being counterpicked. Half of Blanca's matchups are characters he counterpicks, the other half are counterpicks for him. Yan can punish that. I'm like 90% sure. He did not pursue it. I'm pretty sure medium dash punch just punishes that. Maybe hard as well. I haven't seen a Yun run Ultra 2 in a long fucking time. It's not even about Ultra. You wouldn't use it in this matchup. Well, you might. It wouldn't be horrible. That was nice. He played the range pretty well, actually. Dropping combos. No dash punch! What the fuck? How are you just gonna let him do that? This Yun is hella checking a swing for no reason. The EX shoulder definitely punishes all Blanca balls. I refuse to believe it doesn't. It might not. I don't remember how far EX shoulder goes. I seem to recall it being kind of far. That was a really bad jump. This Yun is playing like he's never seen a Blanca in his life. Blanca's walk speed is okay. Blanca has like a lot of things that don't really look like they'd be low tier. His combos are pretty bitch. He can't improve them very much with meter either. His combos are pretty bad. 2 dashes, that's optimal. You lose absolutely no setup or combo or anything by doing 2 dashes. You can actually do 3 dashes if you need to. It's just free corner carry. Good jump in. They made cross up dive kick really hard to hit outside the corner. In the corner, it's pretty free still. That was an EX up ball hitting and not knocking down, wasn't it? The OS! Blanca hates those. Blanca gets OS like crazy because his reversals don't hit. Or only one of them does, and it's punishable. That was Max. That was an OS again. Could have done a third one. Nice gimmick. Giannis clearly fought a Blanca before. Scary. Blanca's like one hit from dying though. Oh, never mind. If Blanca ate that grab, it would have been stand strong, light shoulder, EX command grab. I mean, fuck, EX red focus, and then Ultra 1. Well, those are really good at hitting that electricity. They, like, certain buttons would just get hit by electricity all the time in vanilla. And in Super they made it so if you want to hit electricity, you can generally just hit a low. Ken just became very different, and I haven't bothered yet to get good at the specifics of Ken. I don't even dislike him. It's just I don't know how to play him. The skill I gathered in, well, that's a nice OS. Probably accidental. The skill I gathered in Street Fighter 4 playing Ken no longer applies. My reactions on FADCs, my step kick, and my fucking car grab, my like juggles. A lot of the stuff I was good at with Ken is gone. And everything else, everything that's left is like... The Akuma that's in Street Fighter 5 is more like Ken than the Ken that's in Street Fighter 5. So in a sense you could say I'm still playing Ken. He wanted two autocorrects there and didn't get either one. Autocorrect the exit, but it's okay. Nice, that actually worked. Blanca hops through Honda to destroy his charge, but that time he used a charge trick to keep it. I like do that a little bit. I'm not that good at it, but I can generally get it. I've been like sneaking crouch medium kick medium Tatsu into my game lately. Honda's another character that desperately, what the fuck was that? Didn't want. I played Honda in this game because he was a Honda main in Super Turbo, which was a game he actually played a lot. Micross likes Honda, that's the reason. That's probably gonna work. Might be blocked. That's very slow Ultra. Still got it. You have basically no setups into that Ultra on any opponent who doesn't have a Fireball. Not only that, but his Ultra 2 is even worse. Honda basically can't land an Ultra. Even after focus, landing Ultra 1 is pretty hard. Ultra 2 is pretty easy after focus, but like, he doesn't get that much focusing anyway. He doesn't have like a red focus setup that's that good. He has some red focus stuff. I think he can do like Stand Fierce into red focus, for example. Jump Strong has a god hitbox. That might work. Yep. The thing about Street Fighter V is that it took out a lot of characters that people complain about a lot. And then it added, like, now people complain about the cast being homogenized because there aren't enough different playstyles. I don't think Makoto can punish headbutts, but she might be able to. Most characters can't. You basically need a really good poke. Okay, we're still around house, what the fuck? So Honda's another character where, like, certain playstyles give him really hard matchups. Like if you have punishes for a lot of his quote safe stuff, or if you can keep him out effectively since his movement is deliberately very stiff. They made Honda's movement really stiff so that he could, like, have, like, the, you know, a difficult time approaching, like, Ryu, but then do well when he gets in on Ryu. That might work. Yeah. But the problem is, Ryu still beats him, by the way. The problem is, like, a difficult time approaching Ryu translates into an impossible time approaching certain other characters. Honda in this game basically plays a little bit like Zangief in Street Fighter V. It's like Ikang. Makoto is gonna... Oh, I thought that was gonna work. Ikang makes you up with command grabs and stuff, but like half the time he's just kind of like doing the occasional crouch jab and then a whole bunch of nothing. But he's got like decent anti-air and really high damage burst hits. He's basically a moving wall. It like doesn't seem like it would be that similar, but they're actually pretty similar when you're actually playing or fighting them. Zangief in this game and Zangief in Street Fighter V are basically completely different beasts. It's hard in this game to play Zangief at all without taking risks, unless you're only using lights. Oh, gimmicks. You get him? That super recovers pretty fast. I don't like gimmicks like that. I probably would have either... I don't know how unsafe that is. I don't even know what Makoto does there. If it was me, I probably would have just done stand strong at DX upper. Hi. That's a nice emote. That looked like a nice safe headbutt. Twitch Prime sub. Check out that new little face by your name. Yeah. He could have canceled that and blocked, but like he couldn't have even... He might have been able to cancel him, like Ultra, but that was such a... You'd have to react so fast. You should have run house. That's a good button. That's Honda's good anti-air. Honda tends to do pretty well against characters who, like, rush down mix-up. And he tends to do really horribly against characters that zone. There's a character the most similar to Honda. I don't know if there's a character quite like Honda. Q is probably it. Alex would also be okay. Honda's more defensive than the most defensive Street Fighter 3 characters. This... Oh, I was gonna say it might go under. It worked. It was a good autocorrect ultra. Q has the worst hitbox in the universe. He blocks a lot. He's got good health. He occasionally uses a very slow but very long-range command grab. That's all quite similar. He also has extremely specific normals. Ultra Double Blanca is like sadly not a horrible option because you have so few Ultra attempts. You have so few Ultra like setups. You'll probably get only one or neither per round. So you might as well just take whatever Ultra fucking you can make work. Though Strong got beat by Honda Jump Strong. That's nasty. That's like actually nasty. And Blanca gets a grab, he wins because he can set up an unblockable Ultra 1. Because it'll just... Oh, he went for gimmicks. Not an unblockable Ultra 1. Well, yeah, unblockable. A chip out Ultra 1. I don't think Honda can wake up into that and like do anything. The Ultra 2 gives him something to do after a focus, and it might give him something to do after a headbutt. The Ultra 1 gives him a 4-frame combo tool, and also shenanigans if he chooses to use some shenanigans. I played Elena, and both these characters are pretty free for her. So they both hate like her punish options. Nice spacing. Trying to bait out an EX headbutt. EX headbutt's invincible and it breaks armor. So like, you know, focusing in front of someone as they wake up, in front of a Honda player as they wake up, and they're already probably thinking about EX headbutt. Very easy way of baiting it out. EX headbutt was safe for the first 4 versions of this game, and I think as of Ultra they made it punishable. It's not the end of the world because he can still FADC it. It wasn't even safe, it was like only certain characters could punish it. Good counter poke. In general, Blanca's normals are, I wouldn't say better. He can play at a little bit more of a range than Honda can. They're further. Just a bit. Honda's Crouch Fierce goes further than Honda's Stand Roundhouse, and then every other Blanca normal goes like generously further than every other Honda normal. Honda's Stand Fierce goes pretty far too. Honda's pretty stubby though. Blanca's anti-air buttons weren't working at all. That was a punish. You can see EX headbutt being unsafe. It wasn't a huge punish though. It was stand jab into hard Blanca ball. It's probably only like anti-air Stand Fierce didn't work. All this damage. It's only like 150 damage punish. When like EX headbutt on hit probably does similar damage though. Certain things about Street Fighter V are so whack. He actually could have done Crutch Fierce there, and then Red Focus cancel, dash in Ultra 2. That'd been pretty tight. Bad punish. Now he's probably dead. If he got the right punish, it was like stand jab, medium block a ball, I think would have been a punish, and then he could have Red Focused that and done Ultra 2. That was like probably the correct punish. He had a lot of resources. I think Yang's Rekka will actually punish Honda's headbutt. If not regular, then EX. I'm like pretty sure. Yeah, I think Yang is seen as a counter pick in this matchup. The dive kick is pretty good too. Oh. That's like 2 whiffed command grabs. That was weird. Did that really trade? Yang Sync Yutai fucking traded with Honda Jump Strong. It's pretty good. It's nearly gonna kill. Remember, chip outs exist in this game. He wasn't gonna get chipped out there, but like, that was probably a safe jump. I don't think Honda could have woken up with anything there. It's very, very easy to safe jump Honda. You don't need to get like a fucking 1-frame safe jump or anything against him. His fastest thing that's invincible is like fucking EX headbutt, which is not that fast. It's like 10 frames. So you don't need to be super precise. Drops his combo. Same medium kick's normally what you want there. Whiff punish, that's a really bad wake up there. This will probably kill. Both of Yang's Ultra's combo there. They need to add more Ultra setups, I feel, and then kill Ultra damage. I think that would be better. I always felt that way about Ultras. I like the damage of Ultra Double. I remember when we were doing like Ultra Double tournaments and stuff, I remember being really impressed that like the match wasn't really decided as much by the Ultra, but they were still the thing you tried to land. It was more fair. And I like the idea of like having both the Ultras at once too. It just made me sad that that wasn't like the Ultra Double was like the preferred way to play for me. Because it was just more scaled back. It was more decision making and less like one touch kill. That's what I meant by more decision making. That's max, I think. You can actually do palm. This is a very hard Yang combo. You can do low forward palm, like medium palm, and then F80C and get stand jab, which is a 1-frame link, and then do stand forward, which is a 1-frame link. And then from there, you can do that kind of combo. Lift dive kick, stand forward, or dash forward, stand forward, both of them work. The only complaint I have with Seth Ultra 1 is how long the animation takes. I like the number of setups he has, and I don't mind the low damage. The only significant problem I ever had with Ultras is I do not like their invincibility. I think the invincibility adds a huge amount of randomness. I don't like that kind of thing. Where it's like someone outplays and is doing better, and then someone like has to go for a Desperation Ultra and it works. Like, yeah, there's something where it's like you can play in a way that's very safe against Desperation Ultras, and then it's unlikely you'll ever eat one. Emphasis on unlikely. Good whiff punish. But it's like, I don't know, you can play really well and then just make one mistake. I generally like the damage in this game. I think the damage is too high in Street Fighter V. Like, in Street Fighter V, you can still get 500 damage combos with your V-trigger, in the same way you can get 500 damage combos with an Ultra. I mean, Street Fighter 4 didn't start with multiple anything. That was added. That was a feature that was added in later. Capcom's not against like certain things being objectively better. Yeah, Pilcro Joe has it. Having multiple is good because it means that at least one of them is more likely to be good. You don't have to balance a character around having a great Ultra and shit everything else. Or a great V-trigger and shit everything else. The problem is the character like Fong, or like a character like Ryu, are two very good examples of characters who don't really get much from their V-trigger. Ibuki gets 400 damage combos off of any kunai. Ryu gets a fireball you can delay. And I guess some unblockable setups. He gets a cancelable Stand Fierce, but that's really not a big deal. It's like kind of nice. You can poke with Stand Fierce, and if you see the Crush Counter, you can cancel the hard DP. Fong's V-Trigger doesn't give him any footsie utility, basically at all. Nice focus. But it's easy to underrate, because he does get a lot of damage from it. I shouldn't say a lot, he probably gets like 100. That was the Stand Strong. You don't see that button very much in this game. It's just a Crutch Fierce that whiffs faster, and I think it goes a little bit further. But you have to like lose charge to use it. Fong's V-Trigger doesn't change the way he plays, which is the real crime. And there's no additional decision making going on from either player. It's brainless. Nice trade combo. If Balrog does the light overhead, it's safe. And if he does the heavy one, it's unsafe. But he can combo out of the heavy one. And he can't combo out the light one. I don't remember if that works or not. Level 2 focus crumple. That's what he went for. It must work. I don't know if I would call Nikeli's V-Skill that good. It's more like he relies on it a lot. I think Nikeli's V-Skill is pretty much perfect. It actually gives him it actually fills a significant hole in his gameplay. You're now imagining Nikeli with Laura's V-Skill. The overhead and the dash. It's so risky though. It gives him a little bit of play against fireball characters, but it's like a worse fireball in almost every way. That was a very risky thing to do. That Ash Punch would have gotten creamed by that focus. And that would have been on some kind of combo. Balrog's combos into Ultra 1 are a bit picky. Ultra 1 on the ground does a lot more damage than Ultra 1 anti-air. But it's very hard to do Ultra 1 on the ground on a focusing opponent. Or on an opponent that crumpling opponent. Nikeli's V-Skill is not that scary, it only does like 40 damage, dog. And it's like very weak to jumps. Even if you just jump up, it's very weak to that. It's basically riskless against Nikeli to jump up. What stops it from building meter that like doesn't take any, you know, risk on your part. I've never tried Jankum. I only know what that is for meme reasons. Remember Ibuki in this game? Ibuki's my favorite new character in Street Fighter V. I said this because Ibuki's fun to play and she's literally completely different from her Street Fighter 4 and Cross Tekken versions. She's more like her Third Strike version. She's also completely different from that. Other Capcom IP references would actually be kind of dank. Like, the crossover outfits in Cross Tekken were pretty great. They could just do that. You know? There's like nothing stopping them from doing that. You could just have Ed and give him like fucking Dante's jacket. It would buff the fuck out of Ryu's 1-bar scenario. Which would actually be very welcome because Ryu's 1-bar options are pretty shit. Ryu is basically the only character in the game whose damage doesn't significantly increase for 1-bar. And by significantly I mean 50 or more. Now that would be a huge buff. Ryu needs to have the strongest 1-bar combos in the game. Ryu needs to have, in general, the highest damage in the game. That would compensate nicely for his simplicity. By the way, that's exactly the way it worked in Street Fighter 3. Ryu has exceedingly high damage to compensate for how basic he is. Oh, that's a drop blink. Is it possible yet to like make mods to Street Fighter 5 the way that people were doing them to Street Fighter 4? Because I'll make a Street Fighter 5 BAF edition, and we can have BAF Cups using it. No, I don't mean mods like visual mods. I mean mods like affecting damage and stuff. Like Avenue Brawler. Adjusting only damage and stun, I feel like I could make a very interesting game. Oh, my body's ready. Let's give this a click. That all looks fairly normal. Ooh, that's cute. Oh, Now it's getting a little nuts. Yeah, that's a little bit more than what I was talking about. The damage wasn't that high though. You can see this guy is like trying to make this into a not completely stupid game, despite having like borderline marble combos. He just comboed into a Viewers. That was the target combo. That was medium shoulder into V-skill. I'm not gonna lie, this looks pretty fun. I'd play this. This would be a good starting point if I want to make a fighting game. Modding a fighting game seems like an extremely good start. I would adjust frame advantage too. I might try and get in contact with these guys to see what the whole business is. Make my own. That's like something I actually like. I'm strongly considering. That didn't look like jump like kick. Let's take a look at this. Alright, fairly innocent so far. Whoa! Towards fierce wall bounce. There's too many pieces of this combo that don't seem to require any meter at all. Yeah. Hey, a Psycho Crusher. This is a bit nuts. Very interesting. Where were we? He had a combo to kill there. It had a bunch of links in it, I think. Actually, Palm Uppercut might have done more. He could have killed with an EX bar very easily. With the EX upper. Or EX juggle, EX shoulder out of a light uppercut. But he chose not to, which was the right play. Nice classic ass matchup. Seeing has a lot of BP. I've seen that name before. 666. He's got like 5 times as much as this gun. Like 6 times. Using slightly more accurate rounding. Remember when Yun had trouble getting in, so they had to give me X dash punch? Don't get it twisted. OS, and it caught. Very sexy. Whoa, that gimmick. I thought that was going to go through. That's very, very minus. Don't get it twisted is in general a very badass thing to say. You ever just hear like someone say like certain words and you're just like, wow, that guy must be really cool because of the words he uses. Every now and then I hear a word and I'm just like, wow. That guy's living in a different world than me. And the world where everyone's cool. Like head ass as an insult. When I hear head ass, I'm like, wow. Only cool people use this word. Look at this head ass fool. Oh my god. This Forte is actually super good. He's using all the ultra buffs. He got it? He got it. Left short, left forward. Very cool link. I actually like them a lot too. That's why I paid my own. That's why I did them for season 2. I'll do it again for season 3. I liked them a lot and Capcom didn't make them, so I made some. They're all on SRK Tube. Samurai Huss on reaction to a focus. That's weird. One frame link. He shouldn't have even done the jab. He should have done an EX upper combo. That was the play for sure. 10 times out of 10. I got crouch fierce hitbox. You see that shit? The god hitbox. Man, jump fierce is doing a lot of work too. It's a steerable normal. I don't remember if there's a single steerable air normal in Street Fighter 5. Jump back jab. It was a punish, but then it got punished. What a strange world we live in. Kind of a risky headbutt. I think if Yang did a hard dive kick, which was not even a bad play, that would have whiffed, and Yang would have been able to ultra. Very nice, cut the corner. Grabs are pretty good against Balrog. He has a lot of frame 1 armor. But if you toss him, the only thing he can do is headbutt. And headbutt is very slow and also like very unsafe. You can't F80C it or anything. Also, another good meaty is low short, and headbutt is not immune to lows. So in order to be immune to lows, you have to do EX headbutt. So basically just by mixing it between throw and low short, which are both extremely good meaties, you force Balrog to use an extremely risky meter-only reversal. This year, it needs to happen last year. I feel like sentiment about Street Fighter 5 has been slowly improving. But everyone's like, Capcom really needs to fucking do something big now. Everyone's waiting on it. They do need to do something big. But like, I don't think Street Fighter 5. Honestly, I do not think Street Fighter 5 will ever escape its initial impressions. The best they'll ever be able to do that is to A, fix everything, and B, give it a different title. Street Fighter 5 Fixed Edition. Both of them using jump strong, I think. It's a good normal for both of them. Twin's pretty tight. This is making me miss him. I mean, Kaleem was super setup heavy. Huh? What was your source? Oh, Ultra Street Fighter 2. I misread that. Ultra Street Fighter 4. Sold, not disappointingly, because it was an update. What the fuck kind of reset was that? But, total Ultra Street Fighter 4 sold about 1 million. Whereas I think Street Fighter 5 is at like 1.6 or something. 1.7. Street Fighter 4 Vanilla, in its initial little period, sold like 4 million, I think. Or was it 2 million? I think it was 2 million. And like over the course of its entire lifespan, it sold like 7 million. I just don't understand literally what Capcom's doing. Like, not even like they keep on making mistakes again and again, although they do. I don't understand what they're doing. Like, what are they currently working on? He went for Max. That's the one from Link, I think. Low stam roundhouse, low stance, or low strong. EX upper. It's not really satisfying. It's a bit satisfying when I see someone hit like a fucking fat combo in this game that's like hard to do. But I hate seeing like would-be punishes. I hate seeing someone block an uppercut and then get stam roundhouse into nothing. That's frustrating. It's also a little frustrating seeing people go for baby combos. Although it can be kind of cool. It can be kind of cool to see how people salvage combos. Look at trade combos. That's kind of neat. Remember those? Those don't happen anymore. Ever since they made it so that only normals with the same strength can trade. You need either a normal with a fuck ton of advantage and a normal with like no advantage. Like maybe a certain stand jab against a certain crutch short perhaps. Or you need a special move and a normal, which doesn't happen that often. Because most special moves are unsafe. Like Kareen's shoulder, trading with a jab. Kareen can then pick up a combo. We'll probably lower with her light elbow. Trade combos have pretty much died though. Which is a shame because they were a mark of skill. That's a nice jump back roundhouse. Jump back Ferris was way better there. Surprised he went for roundhouse. Just trying for the chip out. EX uppercut's good here, I think. This should beat Rufus. Oh! Rufus has a lot of invincibility there. But I'm surprised it ended up being exactly the amount he needed. The Ultra was a bit too early. The chances of Capcom actually respecting Street Fighter's birthday on the day of are pretty low. I think if we get a significant announcement, it's probably going to be in December at PlayStation Expo. God damn it. It's going to be Halloween soon at Home Depot, and then Christmas. Because in retail you go straight from Halloween to Christmas. And Halloween starts in September. My life is going to be seasonal for a while. Whoa, missed the cancel. Or maybe the little short, depending on which combo route he took. Whoa. Aggressive. Big in the plane because Balrog's here. Always a nice touch. I was kind of shitty saying hi to people when I got hired. There was something weird about it to me. Something about it bothered me. He only has juggles into super. Look at that frame trap. That actually ended up being really cool. He got the pickup. That's quite a hard combo to do. That had like 2-1 frame links in it, I think. I don't remember the frame advantage, just stand strong. That's pretty bad anxiety. I don't even smile at work or anything. No one's even giving me shit for it, ever. People just kind of regard me as like someone who doesn't smile. Which is kind of sad. I remember going on Fit and seeing a thread where a guy had to make he had to make like a little notepad file whenever he was like calling in food. Like he had to like write his lines in advance. That was like, you know, I'd like to place an order for pickup, and then like his address. It's pretty funny. That's fucking social anxiety. I can't even imagine how your life has to be. Like, what even leads to that? Do you like... Did you like make a retail... I mean, a food pickup before and they'll like get completely stuck on a basic question? You're like, oh yeah, what do you need? And then like the guy like stutters for like 10 minutes and then hangs up. And then it's like, from now on I'll make a list. That cross out. That's a checkmate scenario. Or if this was guaranteed to die there. What even overthinking could happen? The stakes are so low when placing food, and there's only like 3 ways the conversation can go. Shit, dude. I've gotten the wrong thing at food places, and I'm usually A-okay with it. I asked for grilled chicken, they give me crispy chicken. I'm like, guess I'm having crispy chicken. He can land an ultra here if he wants to. It's probably not super good. But how he lands ultra basically doesn't matter at this point. Almost at a point where you can chip out. Rekkas are all a 2-block string for poison, so. Look at that hard knockdown from a throw. This is gonna kill. Huh? You get a juggle there, don't you? In Ultra 1? He didn't even go for it. I'm like not the kind of person to get social anxiety. So I can't understand social anxiety. But I guess if you were like a different person, that you would understand the entire scenario differently. For example, being forgetful. It's not that I'm not forgetful. I'm very forgetful. Not very, but like I'm like moderately forgetful. But I'm very habitual. So I don't need to worry about forgetting stuff. I'm a very careful person. If I forget something, then I can like use my own logic to guess where it would be. If I forget like where I left something or something like that. It's like, well, where reasonably would I put it if I did it without thinking? And that works like 99.9% of the time. But like if you weren't a careful person, you know, what can you even do about that? If your basic human qualities change. Damn, you guys are all awkward. I have friends who suffer from social anxiety. Maybe all of them, actually, but I don't. I'm like uninhibited, you know what I mean? I never get afraid of other people, like... of not having anything to say with other people. That's just like a thing that can happen. You won't always have something to say to someone, that's normal. I'll have you know it's not actually a whip, it's a riding crop. Giant sloth cock. Cannot deny. I bet a giant sloth cock would still only be like 3 inches long. That Link. So strong. That's 5 frames, so that was probably a 1-frame link from a meaty only. I didn't do a very good job explaining what I was talking about with the habit and the caution and stuff, but I promise it all tied in. But I was thinking as I was saying, I was like, this doesn't feel super related the way I'm explaining it. Everything everyone does makes sense to them. Real fireball. Acting like Nash's fireball is bad. Poison's is better in every way, though. Ah, Sakura sucks. What kind of bad punish? What was he even going for? Raw Ultra would have been pretty good there, and that's the most likely candidate. Shimmeron Hustle Records would have been kind of nice too. Nice spacing. I'm pretty sure Yun's non-light shoulders are unsafe, but I don't actually remember. Frame tap. Like Sakura jump strong, traded with like a jump in medium kick or something. Ugh. Don't use meter. Yeah. Excellent. He could have killed with an ultra, but killing with the Sakura Toshi was better. That looked like a very ghetto OS. OS walk in. cross-up dive kicks. If it's a neutral jump or an earlier dive kick, it will not cross up. So that can be kind of hard to spot. People don't tend to block cross-ups against Yun anyway, because he generally can't cross you up very well. I'd slobber knob, to be quite honest with you. Look at that juggle. That's kind of cool. I wonder what that is on block. They had to take out 2 of the nods regarding her transsexuality. Because they caused a bit of a negative sensation. Can't even argue. Fuda-chan is everyone's sexuality. What about Fuda-chan with sweaty, hairy armpits and shitting dick dimples? That way, no matter what fetish you have, you're gonna be turned on. Because it's got all of them. I wonder if there's just like one guy who makes all the fucking Fuda-chan art. I want like a list of like the list of like pro players who have jacked off to Fuda-chan. I'd like pay someone a lot of money to read that. I would use it for hella fucking big damage. How do you not be predictable in 3S? I mean, that's a really hard question to answer. The typical answer is to find a scenario where you need to do something, and then find 3 things that you can do in that scenario that have mutually exclusive answers. I mean, really, it's just call it as you see it. If you're getting parried a lot, that means start throwing. Or mix up your lows and your highs. You might be, it might seem like you're using, like, you're getting parried more than 50-50, but not realizing that you're being predictable based on, like, what your options are. Like, Ken's lows from far away are a lot better than his highs from far away. So there's a certain range where people are more likely to go for low parries. Balrog versus Rose? Oh no, it's fine. Nice Gutex matchup right here. Cunt Boy Sagat? I'd be surprised if there's even one of those pictures on the internet. He can just do Crush Medium Kick EX Fireball, which is not uncommon. And Crush Medium Kick is kind of just a good button in general. So you can do it and not even cancel it. It goes really far and it comes out reasonably quickly. I don't think this matchup is probably slanted either way. If I'm Oro, the very, very strongest thing I can get out of a high-only parry is close stand strong, confirm into Super 3 for like 60% of your health. And the very, very highest damage I can get out of a low-only parry is like Crouch Medium Kick, EX Uppercut, which is astronomically risky. That was a good thing to do there. He had a juggle there, EX drill, I think. Maybe super as well. Anti-air towards hard kick, you get a pickup. That was a good bait. Unfortunately, the Soul Spiral was safe from that range. This will probably kill. The idea of an invincible reversal you can space to make safe is a bit cool, because it's very hard to space on wake up when you need an invincible reversal. That was kind of a cool little bait. Okay, the Balrog to jump forward by charging the fireball. Still recover in time to anti-air. Sakura's got some neat little tools. The problem with Sakura is that almost all of her neat tech is based around like resets or like up close stuff. Trade combos. So like no matter how good of a Sakura you are, like you've still gotta like do this neutral. Sakura's a very up close character. Her foot speed is okay and her throw is okay. But what really shines is all her normals are fast as fuck. Which means taking throws from her is very scary because getting frame tapped fucks you up really badly. Sakura's frame trap combos do like, oh shit, like 300 some damage meterless. Which is kind of a lot. Juggle into a Hadouken. Well. Damn, low-key when Roy was complaining about Raging Demon being one frame, I was thinking about Dirty Bull. He's like, it should only work if I commit to something, and I was like, don't you remember? Don't you remember that being the worst ultra in the game? I remember Latif. If I recall, he actually moved back to the Middle East. And if there's ever like a Middle East Street Fighter tournament and you tune in, he's usually there. He was actually supposed to be an extremely good like accent core player or something. Reload. Whatever the fucking big Guilty Gear version was that everyone was playing back then. Remember whiff punishing? Probably like 90% of whiff punishing in this game is just you doing your button that you were going to do at that range anyway, and it happened to hit a poke that whiffed. And then the other 10% is you doing a button you would never do there, but only doing it because you saw a button that whiffed. A lot of whiff punishing is fake. Like Bog was just going to sweep there. It was just a good button to hit there. His timing on the sweep might have been subtly influenced by Sakura. But not significantly. Good pickup. Not gonna kill yet, I don't think, even on Kemi health. It was close though. Meaty headbutt might just kill. He went for it. She bounces off of certain characters, but not others on that final hit of the Ultra. You need to know whether she bounces off you or not when punishing. If she doesn't bounce off you, you can stand to make her bounce off you. So you can always stand block and get the bounce. But generally speaking, you get a better punish and a cross under if she doesn't bounce off you, which can be really good. It lets you choose between which one you want. I'm getting pretty sleepy. I think I'm gonna go to bed soon. Nice 5 a.m. sleep. I'm working 3 o'clock. 3:30 rather. To midnight today. Nice combo. Neat. That was a pretty high meter build ender right there. That was well chosen attack start to finish. Kami's good. Kami's notable in that she actually has links that you can hit if you're an ordinary human. Her damage is based around her one frame link, so she has pretty good damage if you do all her one frame stuff, but if you don't, then she has like kind of mediocre damage. But if you don't do all her one frame stuff, you've got like 2 and 3 frame links everywhere, which is nice. Like stand strong, low strong is like 3 frames, which is borderline undroppable. That was a good punish. If he did it immediately, it might not have tracked properly. Because Bog was still moving really fast, so he waited a little bit, and then did it while it was still a punish. And Bog was stopping, so it tracked properly. Whew. The Sakura combo in vanilla ended with that. What a bad punish. Ibuki has kind of an annoying thing that she has to do with crouch jab into stand medium kick. I think the link itself is like 1 frame. Oh, that's weird that didn't combo. But she can also do a crouch jab, stand jab, which is like a 2 frame link. And then stab jab with the stand forward is like a 3 frame link. Ibuki's another character they tried to destroy. She has a lot of redundant moves and she's got a lot of set play. The biggest problem about set play is that it doesn't really matter what your opponent does. It removes you needing to like play around your opponent at all. And Ibuki's got a shit ton of it. That cost up, but I couldn't set would not have. Same deal. Of course I mean her Vortex. Ironically, set play is like as common in Street Fighter V. Mostly due to their removal of reversal options. And their removal of a lot of the range of neutral. I think it's definitely exaggerated, if only because there's no Ibukis. But people really dislike this kind of character. The thing is, there's a big perception that she's like off limits for you to play because she's kind of hard. You know what I mean? It's like I can't play this character, but other people can play this character and just like beat me without having to think. I had a long set with AC Slayer not so long ago. I think I won the majority of the matchups, but he didn't play Yun for most of the time. It was like a half Yun, half Ken. Or like a third Yun, two-thirds Ken. But I think I won over half the matches on both counts. But I remember distinctly feeling like I was losing, but still winning like the majority. But like, I felt very helpless, even though I was winning a lot. Yeah, he can do this. I just shrug when someone does something I can't ever do to kill me. Like, what can you even do or say? It's like, damn, I got outplayed. This man had more skill than me. That's how I feel when I eat car palms. I mean, I'm no slouch at third strike. I'm like actually probably one of the best in America. Mm. Damn, I don't even mind like smashing someone. Everyone always fucking. Whenever I play any set against anyone, I like win the majority, and then they have to say something along the lines of like, "I'm just gonna leave so you don't get bored." And it's like, shit, dude. Don't worry, it's like this against everyone. That's just how it is in third strike. If you're like considerably better than someone, like it's hard for them to even get a game in. Because the skill ceiling's so high. Nice combos. See that moment last round where like Kemi did like an incendiary X dive kick and Balrog did like a reversal crouch jab and the jab fully whiffed? And the Kemi incendiary X dive kick just like fucked Balrog up. And it's just like, wow, that was a coin toss with a throw. And it was also like plus on block. And also it set up a full combo. Kinda gross. This guy's name be a JoJo reference? I feel like there's no scenarios in Street Fighter 3 where you don't know what you could have done to win, and I feel like that does a lot to make it less scary. I mean, obviously there's like Gennage and Yun pressuring you, and it's just like, well, you know, I was probably going to die no matter what. Remember jump hack EX dive kick? The timing of a jump is almost exactly the same in Street Fighter 3, 4, and 5. They basically haven't changed speed. I mean, parry's a one-frame thing. That's anti-air, actually. In 4's heyday, people didn't tend to put it on like lists of best fighting games ever made. But now Street Fighter 4 is done, almost everyone puts it on those lists. A lot of games have a lot of serious issues that people don't talk about because the games aren't played anymore, like Vampire Savior. And now that people miss 4 a lot because of like things that are missing in modern games. Whoa. Good punish. I see Vampire Savior like I see that in a lot of best fighting games ever made kind of things. It's because the only people still saying it's good are like, I mean, it is a good game, but the only people still talking about it are the people who like miss it, and everyone who like doesn't have an opinion is just like, wow, a lot of people really miss Vampire Savior. That's happening now with Street Fighter 4 with the influx of new Street Fighter players from 5. It's just like, wow, like everyone who's talking about Street Fighter 4 being great. No dash. Street Fighter 4 must have been a really great game. That's anti-air. Bog's got like a chip out now. This is like almost impossible for Kemi to win. He needs to not overextend. He could get ultra'd if he just does like a random low dash punch or something. Option selects aren't inherently bad. Not being able to chip out is kind of nice. Ah, probably a headbutt he dropped. Nice, empty cancel. This is gonna kill. Frog's 1-bar extensions are pretty good. Because that keeps the opponent grounded, you can actually do up to 4 of them. You wouldn't, but you can. 1 is probably the optimal number. Drop this combo. That was like an easy one too. There's a 4-frame link to do low strong into low forward on counter hit there. But he was too early. It's normally a 1-frame link, so he timed it like it was a 1-frame link, so he didn't try to do it early or late. But if he did it late, it still would have worked because he got the counter hit. I remember that combo. It's not a cancel, so I don't know why you put those X's. Low short DX Rekka works in 4. I think low short into regular Rekka works in 4. Rekkas are fast in this game. Or, no they're not, but Light almost have a lot of blocks done and hits done. So, things that don't work on other Street Fighters. I see Nurkali Yang players doing low short, low short, low short 3 Rekkas. Don't think the jab link is necessary at all. Low short's a 3-frame button, and I think it's a 2-frame link into itself. Oh, he overhead reset added just increased his damage so much because he got less scaling on his combo. Oh, she's alive. This is a bit questionable of a dash punch, but Carpe Diem. Oh shit, that was the end of the video. RIP. I'm gonna go get some shut-eye.